iNaring is basically an input-output device for the smartphone. The way smartphones were created, it was a touchscreen-based device in 2007, but the use case of the smartphone have been evolving ever since. And the touchscreens are not the best interface to handle everyday tasks which we do through the touchscreens these days. Example of a smart home. For switching a light, I have to put my phone out, find the right app, and tap the right button. It's just a waste of time, right? So touchscreens are not efficient interfaces for things like these. And that's why we created this interface which acts as like an input-output device for the smartphone and gives you the most convenient way to handle tasks which you do on a regular basis from your smartphone. For example, you wake up at 7 in the morning, you'll find a shortcut on the Ring's display saying, switch on the coffee machine. You swipe up and the coffee machine starts brewing coffee. So it predicts shortcuts for you based on how you've been interacting with your smartphone.
So there are shortcuts and there are also many voice commands that you can say to the Ring and then it will perform those for you.
Yes.
And have you been beta testing this and what are some of the most common requests you've noticed people using the Ring for?
So we actually did a few surveys. The beta testing has not been done yet. Through surveys, we figured that the people are mostly interested in taking phone calls. That is a universal sort of a use case. Other was, of course, controlling smart home devices through the Ring. That was one more popular feature. Controlling of presentations was one more popular use case as well. So we figured that we might have to sort of get into some enterprise use cases of the product as well, wherein people who are working in a corporate can also use it on a regular basis, scheduling meetings and stuff.
Right. So you said you have not yet launched the product to market, but you anticipate doing that maybe in early 2020. Is that accurate? Okay. So what are you currently working on right now as you gear up to sort of launch this product publicly?
Sure. So we did a small crowdfunding campaign earlier, and what we want to do is get to a stage of the product wherein it feels and looks more realistic, because a lot of people were like, is this even possible? Because in a way it's a lot of steps ahead than existing variables out there. So people were not really believing us unless we really show it to them. And so what we're doing right now is to create a realistic, final looking version of the product, which will let us sort of scale that crowdfunding campaign to a larger market and take it from there.
And what will the cost of the Ring be when it is available?
So currently we are selling it at $250, and it's going to be about $300 to $350 once it's retailed.
You're planning $250 to $350 right now? You're not somewhere between there?
Yeah, $250 is the early word.
Gotcha. Okay. So there are other smart rings out there. There's certainly many wearable tech companies. How do you think you can compete with some of these bigger companies in the space, and what really sets this Ring apart from other smart rings?
Okay, so if I just compare smart rings out there, they're into either fitness tracking or they are
sleep tracking,
right? Sleep tracking, or they are letting you take phone calls like this, or interact with voice commands. But this device here is like an interface. It's an input-output device for the smartphone. The way we are approaching this problem is very different from any of these products out there. And since we have a screen on the Ring, it sort of gives a much more easy feedback for the user. And so the experience of using the device when there's a screen involved completely changes, and it makes the device super easy to use. And the kind of software which we have running behind the scenes, where in the phone where the app is running, that itself is smart enough to give you the best experience possible. It predicts shortcuts for you basically, right? So.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It sounds like a great product, and we wish you the best of luck.
All right. Thank you so much, Kate.
Thanks.
Thanks for having me.